Come into Steelers latest, your daily spot for all news and information related to your Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm your host, Cole Denis, and please like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content to stay up to date with everything Steelers. But let's get into it as it's our Friday episode. That means it's all game day. We're only talking about Steelers Chargers Sunday night football. Bold predictions will start it all. We got three of them for you this week. First up, defensively, we're gonna get 5+ sacks once again this week. It's either 5+ sacks or no sacks. It feels like all year long, and this is gonna be another week where we hit that 5+ margin because Joe Alt's not there, and the Chargers' offensive line is completely different. The team feels completely different without Joe Alt there, and I think even without Highsmith, if he's not going to play, we got Herbig on the opposite side of Watt. And we know what Watt's going to provide in this one. I think it could be his best game of the season here against the Chargers. And, Hayward, Harmon in the middle, even Benton in the middle. They're going to get pressures all game long on Herbert, in my opinion. That leads me to my second bold prediction. Herbert's going to turn the ball over twice at least in this one. Doesn't matter how. He's either going to put it on the ground, put it in our players' hands in the air. So I really do believe without all, this offense is going to kind of fall apart against our high-paid defense. I want to say good defense, but we know how our defense has been playing. They haven't been consistent enough at all, but they do string together a couple good weeks and then have a couple bad weeks. I think this is the Colts team is helping us string together a couple good weeks now. We need at least one more to consider it a couple good weeks. So I think they're going to provide us with 5+ sacks, 2+ turnovers at least in this one. Now, wrapping up my bold predictions, offensive side of the ball, we're only going to score touchdowns through our tight ends. I think it's really going to come down to Freiermuth, Washington, and Smith, just because the Chargers defense have a good defense also. They have they're a top 10 defense in the league yardage wise this year. I think it's really going to be a defensive battle when it comes to Sunday night's game. Could be low 2017 type game in my opinion, 24-21 type game in my opinion. So I think the only way the Steelers are going to be able to push the ball across the goal line is using our big threats at tight end with Washington and Freiermuth. Let's move on to the game plan for Sunday, starting on the offensive side of the ball. Now, the Chargers do have some struggles with the run game. They're allowing over 100+ yards on the ground week to week. They're only allowing, I think it was like 170 pass yards per week. So we're going to have to capitalize on their struggling run defense. I know it's not 15's top half run defense, but I really do think if you give Warren the chance in this one, I think our offensive line can kind of get a push on the Chargers defensive line. I'm not too sure about that, but I think they'll be able to open up some holes for Warren in this one. Their linebacking core doesn't impress me too much. It's more their safeties. Derwin James, he can be anywhere on the field at any time. But give it to Warren. I think he should be the main factor on the offensive side of the ball, moving the ball down the field. And then the tight ends will finish off the drives. Use your big receiving threats in the red zone, considering they have such a great safety and a hard hitting safety in Derwin James. Use your big receivers down in the green area or the red area, however you want to determine that. I said the green area because that's the money making zone. You scoring touchdowns, you're making money. On to the defensive side of the ball, though. We got to pressure Herbert. I talked about it in the ball predictions. We're going to get 5+ sacks, but you got to make sure you make him a little uncomfortable back there. If not, he's going to be able to pick us apart all game long. We have the 30th ranked pass defense through 9 weeks of the season. So you can't allow him to be comfortable because, as I said, he will be able to find Quentin Johnson. He'll be able to find Keenan Allen all day in the middle of the field, on the outside part of the field. It's going to be brutal if the defensive front lets us down. But I don't think they will. It really comes down to our front four winning the battle against the Chargers offensive line. Let the linebackers rest a little bit this week, considering Joe Alt's gone. I think you let the linebackers drop into coverage a little bit more than we have in recent weeks. Take the blitz a little a little out of the game plan this week, in my opinion. Let's talk about my Sunday standouts. I think it's easy this week. I mean, TJ Watt and Jalen Warren, two key major factors in this game. As I lined it out and laid it out in my game plan, Warren's going to have to be the key factor of offense. I think getting him the ball on handoffs, once he's out of the backfield, just get him the ball in space and let him make a play after that. Warren's a tough runner of the ball, so we know he's going to be able to get at least 3 to 4 yards per attempt, hopefully, against the Chargers, considering they're allowing 100 plus yards per game out of the backfield on the ground. But once again, Warren's a factor in the pass game. Also, I think Rodgers should be bumping it down to him a lot this week. I think he's going to be a little scared to take shots down the field against this secondary. Such a great pass defense this year the Chargers have had. So just dump it down to Warren out of the backfield. Once again, tough runner. He's going to be able to make people miss. And Watt, as I said in the bold prediction section, I think he's going to have the best game he's had all season long. Give me 2, 3 sacks for TJ Watt this weekend, maybe 1 or 2 strip sacks for Watt this weekend. I think he's going to be phenomenal in this one and be a real game changer against the Chargers this Sunday night. Let's wrap this show up, though, with my final predictions for Sunday's game. I think the Steelers will stay hot and upset the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. Once again, think it's going to be a defensive battle most of this game. Think most of the points might come in the fourth quarter when it comes to this game. But the Steelers will be able to hold on 24-21 against the Chargers this Sunday night. If Joe Alt was there, that might have changed my prediction a little bit. But going into the year, I thought the Steelers would be able to beat the Chargers. And we've hit that point of the season where we're playing them. And I still think the Steelers are going to beat the Chargers. If Alt was there, though, it would have definitely changed how we would be planning for this weekend. I'd be a little bit more stressed. I'm still a little stressed about this game, but I'm feeling more comfortable that our pass rush will be able to affect Herbert all game long, basically. And that offense has been consistently putting up 20 plus points this season. So I think they'll be able to do that again. And I think that's all it will take to beat the Chargers this Sunday night. But thank you all for tuning in to Steelers Latest. I've been your host, Cole Denis, and I will see you next week.